I do now want to go to New York Republican Congressman Mike Lawler, who has been patiently standing by and listening to the president with us. Congressman, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Let me just start off before we get to this looming potential government shutdown of getting your reaction to this news on TikTok. Are you satisfied, as the vice president says, it will be owned by this U.S. consortium and it will also protect data security? Are you satisfied that it will do that, in fact?
Well, look, I was a big proponent of the legislation that we passed in Congress to force the divestment, force the sale by ByteDance to either a U.S. Or a company, in another country. But the announcement today by the president, obviously, we'll await further details that we can really drill down on. But I think based on the announcement that the president has put forth, it certainly, would satisfy, I think, the intent of the legislation by Congress to force ByteDance to divest from TikTok, and having this U.S.-led consortium in control of the algorithm is critical for national security. ByteDance and the CCP were using this algorithm for nefarious purposes. That is obviously a widely held view in Capitol Hill and by members of both parties. So I think the objective here was to get ByteDance to divest. The fact that the president and his team were able to negotiate this with President Xi, with China, to get it done certainly meets the intent of what Congress wanted with that legislation.
All right, Congressman, let me turn to the shutdown. You just heard President Trump talk about that as well. And one of the big questions, he did cancel this meeting with Democratic leaders. You heard him there acknowledge, look, we need Democrats in order to get this done. Mm-hmm. Should he be meeting with Democrats with just 5 days to go until the government shuts down?
Well, look, I've been encouraging Leader Jeffries to meet with the president for months. I think they should have been asking to meet with the president long ago, not 5 days before a shutdown. The fact is that we passed a clean CR through the House last week, and Democrats from Chuck Schumer to Hakeem Jeffries to Nancy Pelosi said ad nauseum under the Biden administration that we need to keep the government open, that we need to pass clean, continuing resolutions. That is what we have done. And so there's no reason for them to oppose that. They should pass the clean CR in the Senate. Chuck Schumer, 7 Democrats should join the 53 Republicans in keeping the government open so that we can finish our appropriations work. The real negotiation is for the final appropriations package. This is a clean CR to keep the government funded and open. All of these issues that they want to discuss are part of a final negotiation, and that's what the focus should be on.
Congressman, we have less than a minute left. Again, just to reiterate, it was President Trump who canceled this meeting. But I have to get your reaction that OMB clearing a path to fire federal workers if the government shuts down. Do you believe that's the right recourse, to basically use these federal workers as pawns with the final about 30 seconds we have left here, Congressman?
Look, the challenge with the government shutdown is that any time it happens, the executive has to identify essential and non-essential. We can avoid all of that very simply. We can avoid it simply by passing a clean CR and keeping the government open. I don't support permanent firing here. I think there's a very simple way, Kristen, to avoid all of that discussion, and it's to pass the clean CR that is sitting in the Senate right now.
All right, Congressman Mike Lawler, I'm going to have you back so we can have a longer conversation. Thank you for your patience.
Look forward to it.
And for standing by with us today. Thank you so much. It's always great to have your perspective.
We thank you for watching. And remember, stay updated on breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or watch live on our YouTube channel.